Hello. There we go. There's my camera. Hello. Welcome to our 51st episode of Animus Absentis. I'm really excited about this one because if you've seen the game tweet, you'll see there's some things that are going to happen, and I'm excited to see how this crew deals with the things that happen. Anyways, won't go too much into that because spoilers. But I'm going to talk a little bit about sponsors, let everybody introduce themselves, and then we'll jump in. So our sponsors, let me just get those links into chat, are Fundamental RPG. It's a simple D20 system that's not tied to any genre, so you can run any game or story rather that you would like on it. It's pretty awesome. We use Fundamental RPG for this game. You can pick up the physical copy on Amazon. It looks like this. Or if you prefer the digital version, you can pick that up at coffee.com/Raven, like it says in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Also at coffee.com/Raven, you can find Intrepid, which is adventuring gear for real life. It is just really cool products like apparel and drinkware, water bottles, bunch of cool stuff like that with the tabletop theme to them. So go check that out. And then Die Hard Dice is our other sponsor. They make incredible polymer and metal dice sets and accessories. They also make some pretty awesome dice bags that hold up really well to just heavy use, carting them around and everything. I've got a link to one of their satin lined bags in the chat. You can go check that out. Also, if you use the code Blackfeather, all one word with a capital B, you can get 10% off your entire order. And yeah, I haven't tested them with a Badger there, Jay, but I'm pretty sure they'd hold up pretty well for a dice bag. And then if you want to catch up on this show or any others that we have on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. So we'll start with the top left. Jay, tell us a little bit about Sparky and yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Jay, Aurelian Jays. My voice sucks tonight, so apologies for that. I'm a writer and a game developer, and you can find me on Twitter and itch.io at AlienJays. Tonight I'm playing Sparky, who is a clone of possibly a clone who was raised by someone who might also be a clone who is a hired assassin, and they used to be an assassin, and now they're not, so that's weird. And they're kind of the filler for the crew in terms of heisting and planning, and they are the faux head of a faux corporation that they're trying to use to take down capitalism. That might be the most concise description I've ever had of Sparky. You might be muted, Raven.
I am indeed. I said that's awesome, and I think you're correct on the conciseness. And then yeah, V, tell us a little bit about Annie and yourself.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I am an artist. I work primarily in watercolor and pencil sketch, as well as some digital art. And I do have a art Twitter if you'd like to check out any of my work, which is at Pepperodraws, and that's pepper like the candy. I usually post mainly original character stuff, but from time to time, there's also anime fan art and stuff like that. So if you want to check that out, certainly can do so. I play Annie. She is the space anonymous of the group. Pre-memory wipe and pre-crew, she would kind of do this Robin Hood thing where instead of steal from the rich and give to the poor, she would steal information from the rich and sell it to the less rich. So, same concept. Not quite the same morality, I guess. But yeah, she's the little mouse of the crew. That was what she was dubbed post memory wipe. She's snarky and wonderful, and I love her very much. And I'm excited to see what happens this episode with her. So, yeah.
Awesome. Next we've got Alex. Tell us a little bit about Billy and yourself.
Hello, I'm Alex. I'm a digital artist. You can find me around on my Twitter, CanChaosArt, where I post digital art, mostly original stuff, occasionally commission work that I've been hired to do. And I play Billy Briggs, who is very new to this crew. She was a ticker that caught a ride and got caught by the captain. But now that her story is starting to come out, the crew has definitely decided that, no, you're part of the crew now, and oh, you don't know anything but capitalism. Right, we should probably explain what sharing is, what socialism is.
Yeah.
That was an interesting conversation to have as somebody who's very much anarcho-socialist, to have a character who has absolutely no fucking idea.
That's fair. That was a really fun conversation and character. All right, and then Goody, tell us a little bit about Captain and yourself.
I play Captain. Captain is, well, the captain of the ship. She's also an android. She's a Black Ops murder droid. She isn't fully aware of where she comes from or why, but she knows that she is capable of some pretty horrendous things, but she does not remember specifically doing said horrendous things. And we haven't really explored a lot of her story yet. So, but she's trying to understand her human compatriots, her comrades, if you will, and trying her best, but a lot of times she's just done. She's done. Y'all are ridiculous.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, and then I am Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the various things that I do, most of which are tabletop related or adjacent. You can find all of my social media profiles and everything at my link tree, which is there in chat, or if you can't see chat, it's linktr.ee/theraven, like it's spelled below my face. And then, yeah, I play everybody else in the galaxy, including 3 members of the ship's crew, which is Daisy, who interestingly enough was the big bad of season 1. Obviously some things have changed for her. And then Seth, who tried to kidnap the ship's doctor, and ended up getting adopted. Liam, which is Annie's little brother, and I also played the doctor, who is on the ship and is just very antisocial, so doesn't usually interact with the crew very much, unless they're needed. So yeah, last session, we got everything that we needed from Earth to make the new ID cards. We stole a whole stack of the blank cards, the machine that's needed to encode them, and it actually went off pretty easily without too much of a hitch, including framing a sleazeball for the crime, which was rather fun. I really enjoyed Daisy and Captain's interactions on that. That was great. And then, yeah, you got away perfectly fine. Decided to stop by Ceres for a trip through the scrapyard looking for parts for the ship, since I don't think you have guns on there yet, if I remember right.
I think we had cannons at best.
That's right.
Yeah, we have cannons, but not much.
Yeah. I remembered it wasn't set up for combat quite like the other ship was, but it has a lot more cargo space. So yeah, as you pull up, you notice there are a lot of Vizco military vessels surrounding the sort of planetoid that is Ceres. And the shipyard is there, which normally it's expected to have a few Vizco ships because that's their shipyard. They're building them there. But this is like 3 or 4 times more what you would expect to see. And Captain had sent a message off to Commander John Nabisco, or Nabisco, depending on how you pronounce it. And he'd sent a cryptic message back about a vacation, and how I believe it was something along the lines of being recalled early from said vacation. It wasn't really clear exactly what was going on, but it was enough of an unusual style of writing to know that, like, okay, we're supposed to read between the lines here. So yeah, that's the situation that you're pulling into. You are cleared to go dock on the planetoid if you'd like, which is a little bit different than the other planets in the Sol system. It's almost like a giant biosphere around most of the planet. The terraforming had some weird quirks. It was one of the earlier celestial bodies that they terraformed. So, yeah, it's just a little bit different. But it is perfectly safe. There's also the shipyard that you can go to, which is kind of like a gigantic space station jutting out of the side of the planet. Yeah, you can go there. There's not a lot of areas that aren't restricted, but you are cleared to dock there and try to interact with the scrapyard that they pull from, or ask questions at the main office if you really wanted to. That's sort of the layout and what's happening. There really isn't any GPF presence here, just as a heads up. So, seeing all that, what would you like to do?
So wait, the station is where crap went down, right? With Rip?
Yeah, Pezzo Station 329, which is not too far away from where you are, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's exactly like next door.
Okay, but it's not the same place.
Correct. It's not the same place. It's like the next stop in the solar system.
Gotcha. Okay. And so did we agree that we wanted to go somewhere else, or are we gonna take our chances?
I feel like we wanted to go somewhere else. Because it wasn't this, because we passed Ceres on the way to Earth, and it wasn't this busy.
Correct. This is a
Right.
very recent development.
Yeah.
Like within the last 24 hours, all these ships have shown up.
Yeah, I think Sparky is probably rethinking, like, maybe we'll go somewhere else. Maybe we'll find a different scrapyard that isn't covered in cops.
Where would the nearest scrapyard or place to buy guns for ship be other than this place?
That's actually a really good question. Let's see.
Or is this like it?
Oh, it's definitely not the only place you could buy weapons. It's just one of the larger scrapyards in the solar system. There's probably one. I don't have it plotted out yet, but there's another asteroid field after this one. I'm trying to remember where in our solar system it is. It's between two planets, but I want to say between Jupiter and another planet.
Are we talking like this universe, or are we talking real life?
Real life, yeah.
Well, there's the
'Cause
Kuiper Belt, which is further out. But that's
what
like
I'm thinking of.
That's way out. That's like past Pluto.
Okay, that's kind. I was thinking there might be one around Pluto. So yeah, we'll say Pluto. Normally I would look it up, but my computer is struggling to run just Streamlabs right now, so I don't want to
Totally fair.
push it.
Like, while I am curious as to what Visco's got themselves up in a bunch over, I don't think I'm that curious.
No, especially not after
Yeah.
we stole 50 IDs in a machine to print them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Which, speaking of, I don't think we thought of names.
Yeah, still Daisy's still waiting on those. Yeah, there is another scrap and mining operation on Pluto, or if you just want to straight up buy like new guns, any number of space stations would have something like that. Yeah, basically pick an area that you want to be in, and there will be a space station there that you can stop at.
Okay. I guess head towards the scrap station out by Pluto.
Okay. You are absolutely able to do so. Let's see. How fast is your ship again?
It is.
And we like just refueled, right?
Yes.
You did. Yeah.
2.7 FTL.
2.7. If I remember
I
right,
assume, unless you're talking about the S sublight.
No. FTL.
Yeah.
Okay. If I remember right, that means it'll take about a day to get to, give or take, from where you are to Pluto. Is there anything that you want to do during that day?
Probably give Daisy some names. I think I've got one for Sparky.
Okay. Let me pull out my notes so I can write these down.
Santa Marie, which is the kind of like cover name for the company.
Yeah.
So, as you would spell Santa, and then Mari. It's the last name.
Okay. How about everybody else?
Jane Smith for Billy.
Say James or Jane Smith?
Jane Smith.
Jane Smith, okay. Jane Smith for, yes, hello, cat, hi. For Billy. And how about for Annie and Captain?
I completely forgot to think of something, so you're gonna have to give me a little while to figure it out.
No worries. Let's see. I need to come up with some for our other crewmates. Do you want to come up with one for Liam V, or would you like me to?
Yeah, you can come up with one if you'd like.
Okay. Seth's going with Brock Flankman.
I love it. I love that
yeah,
for him.
Hell,
Yeah.
I burst out laughing.
He's like, I like it. It sounds tough.
Yeah, some meat needs more like cooking before it's chewable.
I can see Andy patting him on the head and being like, "Of course, this sounds tough, baby." Like,
More like a, yeah, that sounds tough.
yeah, just
I think Daisy looks over, just like, does the B stand for bed? Because I think you hit bedrock with that one. As in an all new low. B-Rock, Brock. Maybe it makes more
that's my
sense if you're looking at
brother-in-law's
the
name.
letters. I also tell terrible puns, so it might just be that. Let's see, Daisy.
River, now is not the time.
That's a really long name. I'm not sure if she'd like that one.
Yeah, name Daisy after my cat.
She's going with Chloe Grace for Daisy.
Oh my god, that's my mom's cat's name.
Chloe Grace?
Chloe is.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's wild. The doctor's going to go with Terry Jones. And, all right, so we still need to get Annie. And did the captain want a different name? Or just captain?
I think she would just stay with Captain. She's not very good at naming herself.
That's fair. And that was just sort of a designation, and now it's official. So.
Yep.
All right. So I need a name for Annie, and we need a name for Liam. If it wasn't DMCA protected, I would start humming the Jeopardy theme right now.
Can maybe think of it later.
Yeah, that's totally fine. We still need a name for the ship too.
I did have a first name written down in my book, but yeah, I haven't thought of a last name yet. So yeah, I'll let you know if I think of something.
All right. That's fine. You come up with names over the course of the day. We'll swing back to what those names actually are. Does anybody do any more research into what the heck was going on at Ceres, or check the news or anything like that?
I would like to,
Awesome.
because I'm worried about vacation, Grandpa.
Aw. Let's do a let's just do like a site roll. So just watch the news. You'll get information even if you fail, but this is just sort of will give you how much information you're able to process. 17. Okay, so there is a sort of a breaking story over the course of that day that basically journalists have noticed and been able to report that Vizco seems to be pumping a lot of ships into the Sol system, and SME seems to be pumping a lot of vessels into the system as well. And that is Swanson Mineral and Electric is what that stands for. Specifically to Luna, which is the moon, and Pluto.
Oh dear. Now, are those two companies rival, or do they cooperate?
They normally cooperate. They're both ruling council members on the corporate council, so they're two of the biggest 6 corporations in the galaxy, and they are one of the 6 that sort of govern everything. So for the two of them to both have a bunch of vessels amassing in relatively close area is a very alarming. Sort of the whole idea behind the different corporate fleets is so that basically the idea was to make it unprofitable to go to war with each other, so that there could be some semblance of order in the galaxy.
Gotcha.
So it's to put it into modern day equivalent, it's not quite as alarming, but similar to seeing two countries like start double checking their nukes and pointing them at each other.
Okay, fair.
Nobody's firing anything yet, but it's kind of like on that level of oh shit.
Gotcha. Okay, Captain's gonna shoot out a message to everyone saying that Pluto isn't necessarily safe either. Are we still down with going there?
Does the news report say how many ships?
Not a specific number. I imagine it's probably censored out the specific number, but fleets are mentioned. So, and not that weird Twitter thing, like actual large gatherings of ships.
And now you said the GPF isn't in this, right?
They are not. They don't have any presence at Ceres, and if they do have a presence at Pluto, it's minimal.
So none of these like fleets are per se like looking for us.
No, not really.
Okay.
Like
Not
you,
looking for you.
True.
Yeah. Not even for Billy, actually. These aren't the particular corporations that would be interested in you, I don't think.
Oh, speaking of, did we ever give Billy a communicator?
No. No, we didn't.
Can Captain ask Daisy to please give Billy a communicator?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Daisy's able to put that together. Same encryption that everybody else has, so it's super secure.
If they're not looking for us, maybe it's okay. I mean, we haven't. Well, no, that's right. We did piss off Visco.
I mean, a little. Not enough to make them worry about you at the moment.
Enough that if they noticed us.
Yeah, but we're in a different ship.
With different names.
Did they ever ID us, like, face-wise? I don't think they did.
I don't think so.
I don't
Probably
think
not.
so either.
Also,
Why not?
They're a little more concerned with SME at the moment. They probably would be like, "Oh, right, yeah, we don't like you, but I don't have time for you. So whatever."
I only budgeted enough bullets to kill these guys, so okay.
Oh darn.
Gonna have to fill out requisition papers.
If you would like, you could roll education for. So I'm gonna have you do that for. ADHD is a hell of a thing. Oh yeah, to see the strategic importance of Pluto. See if
Okay.
you would be in danger of being under attack.
I'd
Relatively
go
soon
in for
there.
that.
Oh my god.
32, nice. Yeah, the strategic importance of Pluto is not super big. Like, it's a source of resources, like material resources for SME, but they don't have a shipyard there. They don't have big offices there. It's not that important. If Vizco was going to hit a big target like that, it would probably be Luna. So your risk of getting caught in crossfire here is pretty minimal for the moment.
Yeah, I think Sparky would message back like, it seems like it would be okay, and we do really need some kind of defense.
Does anybody have any objection?
Yeah, nobody seems to object on the kids
Okay.
side of things.
Off to Pluto we go then.
All right. When you arrive, you do see there are a lot of SME ships there. They look very different than the Vizco ones. They are larger and bulkier. It's weird to say because it's space and that's really relative, but they don't look very fast. And in fact, they are not as fast as some others. But they have heavy armor and a lot of guns. They're like tanks, essentially. So there are a few of those around. There's, the asteroid belt is not too far away from the planet. There's a bunch of space debris just sort of orbiting Pluto, where they just sort of pull components from and recycle them. And there is a marketplace on Pluto for ship parts and raw metal materials, so like sheet metal and ingots and things like that.
Well, I would announce over the ship intercom we are arriving at the planet Pluto. Anybody who wishes to go planet side, prepare to do so. Be wary of certain corporations. None of them are
Don't talk to
looking for
strangers.
us. Yeah, don't talk to strangers. None of them are currently hunting for us. Let's not give them reason to.
All right.
By the doors to like go planet side because she's never been on a planet before.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not technically a planet, so there's
Don't
that.
ruin this for her.
Actually,
We're starting small.
In I don't know, let's say 2450, they redesignated it as a planet once it was terraformed.
Oh goodness. Actually, I'm gonna look up the gravity because I don't know how much gravity Pluto has. I don't imagine it's a lot. But yeah, Sparky would be getting
yeah.
as well.
It's probably a lot like Ceres, and wherein it's not quite Earth standard gravity, but the terraforming technology does adjust gravity on different planets to be relatively close to Earth. So you don't have to worry about that too much. So yeah, you're able to land. There's a lot of battleships, in the area, which is a little unnerving. But they don't really mess with you. They don't talk to you. They're just sort of there for the moment. And you are able to land and go into the marketplace. It's a bit like the Costco of ship part ordering. So it's not as flashy or anything as some of the space station shops that you've seen. It's a lot of like warehouses that are just sort of open, and you can kind of walk around and see the different components that you might want to buy. You can get a lot of things in bulk here, and there are some completed components that you'd probably be more in the market for, and there's a lot of just raw sheet metal and ingots that are available of various alloys and elements and whatnot. There's a few people milling about. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of staff. Nobody really bothers you or asks you what you're there for or anything. It's sort of expected that you'll walk around and find what you're looking for, and then they'll find you.
Is there mining equipment?
That's a good question. I'm gonna let the dice decide that. Not in this section of the market that you're in, but there might be some on the other side. The facility is huge.
At least not like going off on her own. She is definitely waiting for the group, but it's really excited to like go onto the planet.
Yeah, Sparky, I think, is kind of waiting for everyone as well. Like, we were in the market for the railgun. Was there something else we wanted? I feel like there was a second thing we wanted, and I can't remember what it was.
Same.
If I could get a core bore, I could. You could strap it to the front of the ship pretty easy and use it as a ram.
I mean, yeah. Logistically, you're not wrong. I don't think we're exactly planning to use the ship to, like, shish kebab other ships, though.
It would be fucking terrifying because that thing would just, like, start eating into the ship.
Yeah, like, you'd have massive... Actually, it probably wouldn't even stick because the atmosphere escaping would just, like, shoot the ship off of the thing, and then they'd all die.
Think about how many buildings we could wreck that way, though. I mean, we've already done it without them.
No, we don't want to start that reputation up again. That's how we got in this mess. No more smashing through buildings. But yeah, like once there's enough people, or even just if Sparky and Billy are the only ones out. Go ahead, sorry. Say again, Alex?
They looking at you. Why are you smashing through buildings with a ship?
We're not.
Yeah. As soon as Sparky says we're not, Daisy just sort of chimes in with anymore.
No, at all.
I don't know what you're talking about. We have never done such a thing.
Never once. It's a dangerous thing to do.
Daisy's just like, oh, you mean us? I thought you were talking about that action movie we were talking about the other night. Yeah, no, we haven't done that.
Billy just looks very worried, but also is too distracted by the thought of going onto a fucking planet finally. 28, never been on a planet.
Amazing.
Captain's gonna stay on the ship.
Okay. You all right there, Jay?
Yeah, just weird cough.
I hate those.
It was a point defense system to shoot down missiles because we had to deal with those. And that sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, that really did. I was legitimately getting concerned that I was going to end up destroying the ship before you got to where you needed to go.
Before we got captured and interrogated, Raven? Is that what you wanted to say?
Yeah, that part. Exactly.
Yeah, so it was a point defense system and a railgun, both of which would cost $100,000 each to buy and have installed, and then like $75,000 if we wanted to install them ourselves. But it's a lot of failures. So maybe we'll get them cheap, lightly used.
Yeah.
Gently used.
Yeah.
Gently loved.
If I remember right, the point defense system still had to be manned for the 100,000 one, but it
Yeah, I
wasn't
think
like
that's
you're
right.
manually trying to shoot down every single one.
Yeah.
So there's a better chance of success with it. The fully automated one, I think, was 500,000. Just as a heads up.
Yeah, no. We don't even have. We have just over half that.
Yeah.
No.
Fancy guns and equipment get real expensive.
It's also a bigger ship. So yeah,
That's true.
Sparky would go a wandering. Just on the lookout for not only for those parts, but anything else that might be of value or use to us. And maybe keep an ear out for any jobs, because we're kind of hard up.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of freight, just freelance jobs that are available here that pay pretty well. SME has their own, line of ships, but doesn't always keep up with the demand for shipping parts and materials and resources back and forth. And the demand for freelance ships that don't have SME painted on the side of it are particularly higher at the moment. So there's definitely those options available. As for other things that you can find, really, like, if you can think of it, it's probably here. The guns that you wanted are absolutely here. There's not a ton in the way of like shielding, but if you want armor, there's plenty of it here. And then Billy, if you're still wanting to look for the mining equipment, you could ask around with a speech roll to see if you can locate where that would be.
Wait, what?
Can I add my proficiency for mining equipment?
Yeah, I think so. Would help you communicate what specifically you're looking for.
Alright.
What part did you not? Were you asking about there, Goody?
No, I misheard.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be 32.
Oh, yeah. They're like, oh no, I know exactly the thing you're looking for. You're looking for and they rattle off a bunch of numbers and letters of a model that you'd probably be familiar with.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, yeah. So what you're gonna want to do, you want to grab that little cart over there. There's like these little golf cart style vehicles. You're gonna want to take that, and then you're gonna want to go past the iron field. Take a right at the ordnance depot, and then take a left when you get to the red barrel. You'll you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. It's a big red. It's hard to miss. You'll know it when you see it. So you take a left there, and then you're gonna go for quite a ways, and then once you see the hot dog hut, it'll be on your right. That's where you want to go.
Thank you. Billy is seeing if anybody else is planning to go with her. Mostly just like looking to Sparky.
Yeah, Sparky doesn't have any qualms. They're not really like we know what we came here for, but we don't really know if we're gonna get it right away. So
Yeah.
Billy, this golf cart like a goddamn speed demon, taking impossible turns and like easing in places that you probably think it shouldn't fit.
Amazing. I think Brock Flankman will come with you too, and he's holding on to the cart for dear life.
I know it's only been like 15 minutes, but I completely forgot.
Oh no, I forgot too. You're not alone.
Oh, it's so good.
It's because that's just so forgettable. And then he's
really
there.
Really just the best cardboard cutout we could ask for.
Right. Also, apologies to anybody watching for the noise in the background. There's construction on the unit next to me still, so that some of that may come through occasionally. Also, if you hear any like crackling or like popping, it's because Zoom and Streamlabs aren't playing nicely on my computer at the moment, and it occasionally overloads the CPU and the audio quality gets weird. So I apologize if any of that comes through. But that's what that is, and it should go away once I fix it after the stream. But yeah, you're able to get there without too much problem, I would imagine. Just for kicks and giggles, though, give me a mechanical engineering roll from Billy to see just how well you're handling this golf cart, which is surprisingly speedy.
I'm adding my cybernetic implants.
All right. I'll allow it. So what's the...
Then is 30 9?
Okay,
No,
cute.
no, that's not 39. That's sorry, 28 plus 7.
Oh,
35.
28 plus 7, 35.
Hey, sorry, math.
You're good. That's either way. Yeah, you handle it just fine. You might run over a couple of like little tiny little orange cones that mark like the corner of a space for a shop. You know, here and there, but aside from that, like you don't hit anybody or wreck the cart.
Her shoulder's sorry every time she does that.
And yeah, sure enough, you see all those things the guy mentioned. There's the iron field, there's the ordnance depot, and sure as he mentioned, there's like a bunch of these little warehouse sectioned off places, and then there's just a big red barrel for no reason at all. Can't even tell what's supposed to be in it or what it's for, but there's just a big red barrel and you're able to turn next to it. And then there's a hot dog hut, which is pretty much what it sounds like. It's a little restaurant that just sells hot dogs.
Actually, in front of the hot dog hut, it's like, what's a hot dog?
It's kind of like mushed up meat, and then they put it in a tube. I don't really get it.
Wow.
So it's like it's like have you ever had sausage?
What's sausage?
Yeah, it's ground up meat that they put into this edible casing. It's so they don't waste parts of the meat that normally you wouldn't be able to really cook easily.
But
At least that's the original concept.
if it's all grown in a lab.
Not all of it is, depending on where you are. I mean, it's...
You have a lab?
Sorry, what was that last part?
You have meat that's not grown?
Yeah. There's a lot of it on Mars, it's still quite a bit of it on Earth. It'd probably have at least a couple of ranches here on Pluto with livestock.
We can see them.
And our good friend Brock here just looks over to Sparky like questioning, look like, can we?
Oh. Sparky is immediately thrust into the position of, why am I the adult in this situation? Go see the animals if you want to see. Just don't make, don't like make a ruckus. And it's, what, you don't need my permission. I'm not captain.
Right. Do you mind if I look at the mining equipment first?
You can look at whatever you want to look at. I think it's just the captain needs to know what we're buying, so we're not, because I gotta check in with what we're buying, and then just don't buy anything unless captain says so.
Don't have any money, so that's okay. I'm not going to buy it.
Right.
I think while you're having this discussion, Seth hops off the cart and goes and orders a bunch of hot dogs for everybody. And a few minutes later comes back with just this armful of little, wrapped hot dogs. Hands everybody 2 of them.
Sparky's definitely gonna hand theirs to Billy. Like, no,
Billy's
I'm okay.
Has one in each hand, is looking at them and like, why are they red? Why do they look like penises? Why do people eat this? I don't want these. I want these.
Seth's just like, all right, guess I'll eat them. He's just
Your red penises.
sitting there with like an armful of hot dogs, just eating them. He's like, they're really good.
Yeah, Sparky is definitely on the. They're not saying anything, but they're eyeing the hot dogs. Something fierce.
As far as hot dogs go, these do seem to be of decent quality, and they smell quite good if you are a fan of hot dogs. Now Seth's just working on his now 6 hot dogs.
So Sparky will leave the golf cart and just tell Billy, like, just check in with us once you're done with the animals. If you find anything cool, let us know. And if you're in trouble, just do the Daisy showed you how to do them, right?
Yeah, the beep beep.
Mm-hmm. No, you can talk with it too. You don't have to just do the.
Well, yeah, but it's like a beeper button.
Yeah. Just beep if there's trouble.
Gives a cautious double thumbs up and goes to deal with something she's actually familiar with.
And Sparky will wander off to go look for guns.
I love that. You're both able to find what you're looking for after a little bit of browsing. And there are folks there that are ready to take the orders if you are ready to purchase.
Would need to know what the prices are.
They are pretty much what we already talked about. So if you want them to install it here, it's 100,000. If you want to install it yourself, they'll actually let you use their tools and to make it a little bit easier on you, and it's 75,000.
I think Sparky would message Captain at that. Like, they're willing to let us use their tools to install the guns if we want them, and it'd be 150K for both, for the railgun and the point defense.
Are any of us competent enough, even with their tools, to do so?
Daisy's probably good. I know Seattle taught me some stuff. I'm okay. I mean, I've never installed or really used a railgun, but
And again, Seth, aka Brock, kind of turns and's like, I was the apprentice mechanic on the ship.
isn't he off with Billy looking at animals?
No, he's still on the cart eating hot dogs.
No, but what I mean is that not where Billy was. Like, did she not take the cart to go see the animals? I'm
Wait.
confused.
From
Oh, I thought it.
or across to the look at the mining equipment.
Oh, okay, then never mind. Seth is over there then eating his hot
Okay.
dogs. I thought you parked the cart and then just sort of walked off. Everybody walked away
Oh
from
no,
it
Sparky
a
just
little
left
bit.
it so they could use it.
Gotcha. Okay. Then never mind. Seth doesn't do that, but he would if he heard you.
Seth who? I've never heard of him. So yeah, that's Sparky says like they're semi-competent and Daisy's probably pretty good. But they can't think of anyone else that would be very good at it.
Well, if you don't think we'll destroy the ship in the process, I would say that's a fine deal.
Okay. So yeah, Sparky will message Daisy like, "Hey, when you're free," and this will, I think, Sparky will patch in Captain as well. Like, we'll need the ship down here to do the fitting of it, and then you and me, Daisy, can work on the installing the guns.
Yeah, Daisy replies back, that should be fine. Like, and sort of how hard could it be to install a point defense system on a ship, right?
It should be fine, right? It's like
Fine.
plug and play.
For sure.
It's fine.
So Captain will come park the minivan, I guess.
Okay. I was just looking up, trying to figure out what the DC would be for this. All right, you're gonna need 3 total rolls of 40 to successfully install it.
Now, is that total each or total combined?
Total each. But you don't really fail unless you roll below a 15.
Gotcha.
So you can keep trying without breaking anything. But if you roll below a 15, it probably will break something, and if you roll a 1, it's definitely gonna break things.
Real quick, Raven, do I have any advantages on the board?
Yes, you have an
Okay.
advantage, Billy has an advantage, and Captain has a crit. That is
Cool.
all we have on the board right now.
Good to know. All right. Then yeah, I guess I'll roll. What could
right.
go wrong?
So
I wasn't on the
20.
screen. I didn't see what it was.
Okay. I'm just double checking the book here because I haven't really done a lot of the tech item stuff before. Okay, yeah. So with a 20, like, you get it out of the, like, you get the plastic off and get it into position. Let
3
me pull up-
hours spent slowly inching it into the place.
Yeah. I imagine Sparky just like having the instruction booklet out and like all of the like screws and bolts organized and everything. Yeah. Perfect. Daisy mechanical 26. Not a ton better, but yeah. You don't break anything. It's not a failure. That was a low roll for Daisy anyways. But yeah, it's taking a while.
So I've just realized I literally can't make a 40 unless I crit.
Oh no.
Do you want
Yeah,
my crit? You can
I
have
just
my
put
crit.
those together. Like 130 is probably not gonna be great because we need 6 like total. So
Well, you just need 3 total among everybody.
oh,
So-
sorry, you said 3 each. That's what I'd assumed.
Oh, sorry, no. You need 3 total, but
Oh.
each individual roll has to be 40,
Gotcha.
not cumulatively 40.
Gotcha.
The good news is the railgun will be a little easier to install because it's not as complicated.
Oh, right. This is the point defense. Okay, good. Because this I'm okay if we kind of screw it up. But
Yeah.
like the railgun, I think need more.
Yeah, the railgun you'll need 335s.
Oh, that's not as bad.
It's a lot more attainable.
Except I still need to crit to get those.
What is your mechanical
It's
engineering?
plus 10. So if I
yeah.
if I roll anything shy of a 20, I won't get up.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daisy's got a 19.
It's why I said I'm not the worst, I'm just not great. So there's that.
Would you like to try again?
I would love to try again. Why not?
That's okay.
You want my crit,
chances?
Jay? You could have it.
No, it's okay.
Daisy got a
We'll
crit.
get Seth in here at some point. Guess what I almost rolled?
Yeah, I think Daisy like sees you getting ready to plug 2 wires into the wrong spot. Like no, and stops you. But you get it about a third of the way installed between the two of you. Yeah, you're welcome to keep going or recruit anybody else that you would like. But you have 1 success of 3 on the point defense system and 0 of 3 on the railgun.
I think Sparky would definitely ask Daisy if she knows if anyone else on the crew is skilled. Because Sparky would not remember that Seth is, skilled in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, Daisy's gonna be like, well, Seattle was teaching Seth how to do a whole bunch of stuff.
Was he? Why was he? When was this happening?
Daisy's just like, since Seth's been on the ship?
Huh.
It's kind of like Seth's job on the ship was to...
I thought he just played on VR all day.
No, that's Liam.
But they're always together.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. But no,
I mean,
apparently
they're
at some
roommates.
point... Yeah, but apparently Seth at some point, goes and does the work because it gets done.
Huh. I always thought the ship just kind of fixed itself.
Yeah.
Hey, Seth.
And Seth answers the comm with a mouthful of hot dog. Just like, yeah.
Can you come help us install the guns? We bought some guns. We just need help installing them. And I'm getting in Daisy's way.
Oh. And there's like this gulp sound. Yeah, I can do that. Where am I going to put these hot dogs now? Sort of muttering, and then he cuts the comm off. And Seth will look over to Billy. Do you mind if I take the cart back over there for a bit? Or are you good here for a little while?
Alex just went off to, yeah.
Billy's good. Okay. Seth will take the cart with, like, the bottom is full of hot dog wrappers and maybe some mustard smeared on the steering wheel now. But parks it over there and hops off and comes to help you install this thing. I'm just gonna use physical dice for this. Well, he doesn't fail, but doesn't succeed either. Good grief. 2 dice and I rolled super low. Yeah, the dice don't like you all tonight.
Good.
But
If Seth broke this.
didn't break anything, but eventually you get I'm just gonna give it to you. You get a second success. It just takes a couple hours. You get the impression you're gonna be here a while.
We don't really have that much time constraint. It's fine.
That's true. There are some of the employees of this place that have pulled out lawn chairs outside the ship and are just sort of sitting there with beers watching. They don't say anything or laugh or anything like that. They're just watching.
Billy
So happy we could provide it.
what to the guys with the beers and stuff, and like starts chatting to them about what's going on.
They start talking with like a lot of mechanical jargon. This is like, this person here, they were trying to take this thing and put it in that thing, and except instead of thing, they're using very fancy words for the parts and whatnot. Yeah, we're just waiting to see how long it takes them to realize they've still got the safety cap on that bolt there.
Wow, this crew really needs help. Okay, thank you for that. And she goes over to let them know about the safety cap still on the bolt.
What's the safety cap?
Daisy's just like has the schematic upside down and then flips it back right side up. It's like, oh, that's what that thing is. Okay, this makes sense now.
We used to be badasses.
Like, engineer.
Yeah, it's not. Yep.
It's like, imagine every epic Star Trek episode ever, but the chief engineer's not on the ship. This is where we're at.
Suddenly realizing
So Star Trek.
I had that
Or
many
Star Wars, sorry.
things.
Yeah.
It's basically like if they had Han do all the repairs for us.
Yeah, that's actually not too far off. So yeah, you're welcome to try again if you'd like. Anyone who would like to try. Seth got you basically a free success.
I'm
Daisy
not
had a
willing to
success.
bank on getting a crit because that's 1 in 20, and anything 5 or less will fuck it up. So
That's
Just
fair. Those aren't good odds.
no.
I'll have Daisy try again if you would like. 34. Closer. That was a 15.
Could we just spend like X amount of time here if we can't get the rolls?
Technically no, according rules as written, but for the sake of the show, yes, I'm perfectly happy to let you do that.
Because we'll
So,
be here
yeah.
a while.
Close enough on the point defense. You get that installed. There's probably like some missing, or not missing, but extra little parts at the end of it, and you're like, I'm not really sure where those were supposed to go, but it seems to be working, so it's fine. And then the railgun, I'll need at least, a couple of rolls for that. But yeah, you can just take extra time if we don't get it on the first 3 tries.
Again, it's gonna have to be Seth or Daisy.
1, 2, 3. Hey, there's 1 success. And then for Seth, that's 1 success. Does it quite get? Okay. You got most of the way there with the dice. So you're probably going to end up spending an entire day on Pluto, maybe 2, installing both of these things with a group effort.
That's fine.
But at the end, when it all is installed and working, the now small crowd that's amassed with lawn chairs and things like that cheer for you. Like, genuinely, not like making fun of you cheering, but they're just like, yeah, you got it.
Oh,
That's
it takes a
awesome.
village to watch like 3 idiots install a railgun. Oh no.
Plot twist:
Wait.
Captain was selling raffle tickets to people to watch.
Place your bets.
She made some money.
Now on to your other question about this area work jobs. Yeah, there's a few that are going back towards Earth. A couple that are going out to the Proxima area, so the Centauri system. That's about it. The ones going to Centauri pay significantly less. The ones going to Earth pay significantly more. All
How
of them
much
are
significantly?
like double.
Why?
The thing that you saw on the news is a big part of it.
Okay.
So going to Centauri, a shipment of like weapons will pay about 100,000, plus fuel expenses and things like that. So 100,000 profit. Going to Earth with raw materials, so ingots and sheet metal. Not to Earth, sorry, to Luna. That one will pay like 300,000. And then there is one going to Earth as well. That's it's not raw materials. It's like components that aren't weapons, like engine parts, things like that. And that's comparable. All three of these would take up your entire cargo hold, though, so you can only take one at a time.
Yes, Sparky, let Captain and everyone know about those. Pardon me.
Okay.
And then just, ask, do we want to do anything with Earth, or do we want to get the hell out of the system before things pop off? What do we want out of this? It's a lot of money.
300,000 is not an insignificant amount.
It's more than we had before we bought the guns.
Mm-hmm. More than halfway to a fully automated point defense system, which would be 400,000 in this case to just upgrade the one that you have.
Right.
So actually 3/4 of the way there, since you already have the one.
I mean, I'm down with taking the Luna one, but especially since we're more armed now.
True.
So if we're caught in some kind of crossfire, like...
Yeah, I'd like Sparky, I think, would be fine with either. They just wanted to get a feel for the whole crew. And, wonder what Annie's up to over there.
Just listening. Not doing much. I mean, in terms of the jobs themselves, I don't think Annie would have any issue with the Luna one, to be honest with you. So yeah, we could do that.
Shall we willingly yeet ourselves into danger?
Yeah,
yet
why
again?
not?
Sure, why not? Good times.
Yeah, I mean,
We've got to keep it interesting somehow.
Yeah.
Can't all be installing guns for 3 days.
It's true. All right, then. Yeah, you get the job. They start loading up the ingots and sheet metal and all that stuff onto the ship. The only thing that you had left here that you wanted to do from earlier is go look at animals.
Didn't we want something for Billy? I thought we came here to get like some part for Billy.
Oh, the mining stuff. I forgot to explain that part. Yeah. So yes, Billy, you do find the thing that you were looking for.
But afterwards, like, sort of thing, because I didn't want to keep things up.
Gotcha. And something like that is probably in the 500,000 range. Since it is beefy and is typically used to make money, not burn holes in ships.
See about how well Billy can kind of talk things down?
Yeah, you can absolutely try with speech.
Nope.
Yeah, they're not really budging on the price, unfortunately.
That's fine. So it's out of our price range anyway, so I at least know now for later.
Yeah. And it's pretty common machinery. Like finding it won't be hard. It's usually just coming up with the funds to pay for it. So if you once you do make some more credits and want to do that later, it won't be hard to find again. All right, then aside from that, you are able to locate a small farm on part of Pluto that even has like a petting zoo area. It's like one of the few tourist attractions on the planet.
And since it costs funds, Billy is going to ask the captain directly if she may be allocated funds to go to the petting zoo.
Yes,
like-
that's fine.
It's like 10 credits.
Yeah. Go ahead. Touch the animals.
She will ask Seth if he would like to come pet animals too, and Sparky.
I think Sparky will come watch.
So it's like, yeah, sure. I'll come see the animals.
Are we taking a family vacation to a zoo? Is that what's happening right now?
It's
Petting
like,
zoo.
yeah, it's like,
Does Annie,
bonding. Sorry, say again, Alex.
would Annie like to come?
Yeah, absolutely. Annie wants to come to the petting zoo. What do you mean?
Enter here in the hallways, and Billy's like, "We're going to the petting zoo. Would you like to come with us?"
Hell yeah. Annie goes and gets her like a jacket or something. Like, let's go.
Captain puts on her bonnet and just is like, let's do this.
Does anybody tell Liam?
Of course, I'm gonna tell my little brother that we're going to the fucking petting zoo as a family.
Liam's just like, do I have to go?
Yes, you have to go. Let's go.
Sort of rolls his eyes like, fine. And Daisy's currently running simulations on the point defense system, so if anybody tells her or not.
Captain will tell her, Daisy, family outing. Nice timing on that. Okay.
Right. That's what I have to say about your family outing. No, Daisy's just like, oh, fun. Yeah, hold on, let me just turn this off. And she... And
Oh
with
my
that
God.
noise, she turns it off. It's a really weird disengaged noise on this point defense system.
Daisy, it's supposed to be making that noise.
Yeah, we had some parts left over. That might be why, but it works. It just makes a funny noise.
I think it's swearing in 3 different languages.
Yeah, we'll fix it. We'll figure it out eventually. Yeah, she grabs her hoodie and gets ready to go. Does anybody tell the doctor?
Captain will, why not? Would you like to come touch animals?
Why would I want to touch unsanitary, filthy animals?
You touch
Why-
humans.
Not. That's good. It's because it's my job. Not voluntarily, usually.
You don't do your job voluntarily?
I mean, when it's not part of my job, I don't generally voluntarily touch humans.
Understandable.
Never
We
understood.
will be at the
people's-
farm.
Never understood people's fascination with petting things. It feels the same
I
every
do
time.
not know
like
either.
It's strange. You all have fun. Oh, we are professionals.
Yes. We're adults, we're professional.
The funniest bit is that it's happening when Captain's talking to the doctor.
And all I can think of is what happened last time.
At the museum heist.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Captain makes a quiet note to look at the fiber intake of the doctor's diet.
Oh, either it's too high or too low, or it's whatever it is, too something.
It's something.
Oh my god.
I mean, this is the doctor that shat all.
God, that I hurt myself from that. So
I think we all did.
Yeah.
I pulled something.
I know I took psychic damage from it. As the GM. It's like, you want to do what now?
I take the damage.
Yep. Whew. Anyways, so everybody but the doctor's going on our little family outing. And I assume you want to take the shuttle, because it's a very long walk if you don't. All right.
Do
so
we all
you're able
fit
to.
in the shuttle?
Yeah. The shuttle's actually bigger than the one on the Lagrange.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you're all able to fit in there and take it on over to the farm, and it literally looks like something like out of a kid's book where they're depicting old McDonald's farm. Like, that's what this looks like. It's got the big red barn. It's got a bunch of fenced off areas with like goats and horses and cows and ducks and geese, weirdly, and pigs.
Billy
Chickens. Did I say chickens?
is armed
But there's
beyond
chickens.
beef, but is also like nervous when the animals approach her.
Awesome.
Like she wants to pet them, but also
The goats seem particularly friendly, and keep just trying to like gently nom on Billy's hand.
Yeah, no, Billy is now like crouched down in amongst the goats, just petting them and giggling.
That's adorable. Yeah, the people working there are just sort of like, tourists. I do this every time. But yeah, they're just there. You can hang out with the animals. You can feed them. Like, there's little machines where you can put in like a credit, and it gives you a little bit of feed to give to them. There's a gift shop. There's like a little sort of like home meal style restaurant that's attached to the farmhouse. So there's a few different things that you can do while you're here. There's nothing specific that anybody wants to do right this second. I think that might be a good time for our break. So we'll take a break. We come back, we'll do the last half of our show. So in the meantime, go hydrate, grab some snacks, whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in 15 minutes. right, we are back. So, as was mentioned, you're at the petting zoo, and there's this nice little restaurant. Billy is covered in goats at the moment. What's everybody else do?
Billy has bought like 3 handfuls of the goat feed and like put it on top of her and is just like laying on her back and letting them eat off of her so she can pet them all.
Question. Does Billy wear any sort of like jewelry or have like any sort of buttons or anything on her clothing that sort of jut out or anything like that at all?
He is wearing a utility jumpsuit.
All right, good. Because they probably would have eaten it. But yeah, they're just having a good old time with Billy. How about everybody else? What are you all doing?
I think Sparky's probably keeping an eye out around the petting zoo because paranoia has definitely set in at this point. Obviously stuff is going on around in terms of big fleets and everything, so they're just kind of remembering Rip showing up out of nowhere on the station. So I think they're less interested in the animals and more interested in what they're missing.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, because this is the type of place that Rip would like, but he's not here.
Just this poor man. Just here to buy some animals. Why don't you leave me alone?
Can I not just pet a damn cow without you people showing up?
He's using the cow as a smuggle. Clearly, that's the only reason he would ever have. Yeah. So that's the Sparky is definitely like head on a swivel, not kind of like, oh yeah, animals. Wow. Yeah. Whatever this whole thing is about. Yeah.
Okay. How about Annie?
Annie is dragging Liam all over this petting zoo because this is distinctly something that they would not have been, I guess not really allowed, but it's not something that they would have been encouraged to experience as kids. And so a lot of Annie's personality is showing through of the time that she had with her little brother when he was her little brother. So she's just dragging him everywhere and having a good time.
Awesome. Liam is playing the part of angsty teenager well. And is sort of just like, oh, I can't believe we have to be here.
Captain found the shade of a tree and is standing under that and is glaring at Liam like, go enjoy yourself.
Liam is begrudgingly having a good time.
Good.
Seth is not quite Billy's level of enthusiasm over the animals, but not terribly far off. He's having a real fun time. And Daisy's just sort of hanging out. She's not really terribly interested in animals, but she's not unhappy to be there either. She's just sort of there. And yeah, there's really not much else that happens here unless there's something that you want to do.
I wasn't expecting anybody to like go along with this, so
Yeah, nothing Sparky wants to do.
Okay. The folks that run it are nice. If you go to the restaurant, it's a really nice like home style meal. And at the end of the day, or whenever you're just done, you're able to go back to the ship. And probably by that time, it's been loaded up with all the cargo that you need to haul.
Off to Luna we go, I guess. Nothing doing.
All right. It'll take about 2 days of travel to get from Pluto to Luna. It's the solar system, so you'll pass all the expected planets. There's also the Station 329 that you can stop at if you want to, or Mars, or you can pop in on Ceres again if you really wanted to, though maybe wouldn't recommend that at the moment. Anything like that you want to do, or you're just going straight shot the whole way there?
Nothing Sparky wants to do?
Same.
This is sort of my way of asking you, like, would you like to save before continuing? Sorry.
What?
Yeah, can we just swing by Ceres and just bump that checkpoint, the save point?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Just fly through the
spawn
save
point.
gate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you don't want to
He's gonna
pause.
familiarizing herself with like the ship's like sensory outlays and stuff, so she can like sit around in the bridge if she has nothing better to do and just keep an eye on radar.
I think Sparky's probably bugging Seth to teach them more about mechanics. Because clearly with Battlegon, they do need extra hands.
Yeah, I think Seth is probably doing a little bit of the like, oh, now you're interested in what I do sort of attitude, but just a
Listen,
little bit.
I thought you and Liam just played VR all day. That's all you ever do, and like bring weird boxes back full of like stolen homes.
He's like, I just fixed the thermostat in your room like yesterday.
It's a thermostat, though. Like thermostat,
Billy
railgun.
I had to replace the whole unit.
because just a thermostat. Ha! Yeah, right.
Sparky doesn't know.
Yeah.
Sparky's got no context.
But yeah, after enjoying being a little bit high and mighty for just a couple of minutes, that's like, yeah, I'll show
Laugh
you how
it
to do
up,
stuff.
cardboard cutout.
Yeah.
We all know who gets taken on the away missions.
Yeah, it wasn't Seth, but maybe now it will be with
Maybe
Brock
now it will
Flankman.
be. I'm gonna consistently forget.
I love
Every
that.
single time you say it. Oh my god.
But yeah, no, Seth is happy to show you how to do some things after,
Okay.
having a little bit of fun.
Okay.
Anybody
Captain
else
is
doing
going to be figuring out how to work the defense system from the bridge. Like, is this something she can just kind of like hook up into?
Yes, Captain can access the point defense system from anywhere. Anybody else will need to be at like that station, which I imagine is on the bridge.
Okay.
And Billy.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, well, Billy might be able to. Does Billy have ship to person Wi-Fi enabled?
No, she has to plug. She doesn't have
Okay.
Wi-Fi.
Then yeah, you could plug in if you wanted to, but it wouldn't be much different than, like, mechanically speaking, it's not different than standing at the station. It's just flavor-wise, it would be a little different. Words and thoughts and things. My brain just went blank for a second there. So yeah, it's 2 days of transit time.
I was gonna ask this earlier. How many days do we have like total for the tank? Because that'll help knowing. Because like I know how much it costs to refill.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Going back and forth between, like, from one end of the Sol system to the other, probably gonna use like half a tank, but SME's paying for your fuel for this, so it won't cost you anything to refill.
All right. Yay.
Yeah. And they did sort of a pay you up front with a few day hold on it, so like if you don't actually deliver it, then they can cancel that. So the funds are like in your account but pending for a few days. So you don't have to worry about like talking to a specific person to get paid at the place. All right, if there's nothing else that you want to do, could I get a sight roll to see if anybody just happens to turn on the news? You do. Perhaps it's while watching something else, but in some way or another, Sparky is the only one who happens to upon this news announcement.
Wait, was
where
Billy's site the one above mine? Is that recent or is that like from another?
Oh yeah, it was at 35.
Was that
now?
for this role, Alex, or was that from another role?
That is for this role.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, Billy and Sparky notice it then. Yeah, war has broken out between SME and Vizco. When how do they explain it on the? I know what's happened, but I'm trying to think of how they would explain it on the news, because it won't be all the details of it. According to the news, an unprovoked attack from Vizco on SME's headquarters on Luna. So, Luna's currently a war zone.
Great.
Do we just like FedEx launch this out? Just, stop the ship but open the cargo bay and just kind of let that float down to the.
Yeet it at Luna.
Yeah.
You could
I feel like,
try
and
that.
I feel like you can't get mad at the delivery driver if the house is on fire.
or just as another option, just throwing it out there, just a suggestion, something to think about. Could just call up SME and be like, hey, so the delivery site is a war zone. Would you like to reroute this?
Actually, what Billy's going to suggest is like, oh, we should probably ask them where they want it delivered instead, because we should not go to Luna.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought, Raven, you were gonna suggest we should just steal it.
I mean, that's an option too.
But we wouldn't get paid. That's
Yeah,
the main
you'd have to
qualm.
fence it, and I mean, it's a lot of metal.
Yeah, we should probably call them.
All right, I'll call them.
Okay.
Madam?
I'm thinking for a moment. Also, my mouth.
I don't know if that's allowed. I don't think that's allowed.
We all know how dangerous that is for the rest of us, Raven.
Yes.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about. They give you two options. I was debating if you get the options or if they just reroute you, but they probably really do need these materials, so you get two options. One, you can go forward with the delivery anyways, and they will pay you double. Or two, you can reroute it to Mars, where it's relatively safe.
But Mars is haunted. What are we supposed to do?
Aside from the haunting, it's relatively safe.
Yeah.
Mars is haunted?
Yes.
There's
Long
so
story.
many. There's so many jokes to display.
Right. Yeah, Daisy takes Billy aside and is like, "Oh, let me tell you the story of the haunting of Mars. It's terrifying."
Oh.
And comes up with this whole story about how there's some sort of demon creature that lurks in the mountains and preys upon evil corporations that spy on farmers.
Good God.
I mean, we kind of something like that. We call them chupacabras. They'll pull you into like dens in the asteroids.
I just saw your thing in Zoom chat.
Tell me I'm wrong, Raven.
I mean, you're not wrong. Oh yeah, you're all under arrest. That's what it was. No, it's not. But Daisy's like, okay, yeah, that's really interesting. Maybe it's the same thing. It has glowing red eyes and sharp blade-like arms, and it crawls on the ceilings.
Yeah. Those. God, they made it to Mars?
Yep, they sure did.
That's not good.
Fuck's sake.
That's really not good.
It's okay. I think they really only...
Have they sent in extermination squads yet?
Oh goodness, I have no idea. I hope not.
Yep.
Because they really only attack, like, bad people.
They're not gonna stop at bad people. They go after everything.
Oh, well, this one just only goes after bad people, I'm told. Or something.
Sure. But how do you know for sure?
You know, I guess I don't really know for sure. They might even sneak aboard ships. And then sneak about the corridors at night.
Don't like the smell of the ships, the fuel. That's how we
This
would
one-
keep camps.
This one doesn't have a nose. Like, she just keeps coming up with, like, the most ridiculous reasons why this one's different. It's what somebody had to live my cryptid life.
Yep, same thing.
But yeah, Daisy goes on like that for quite a while, just trying to scare Billy.
And it's like Billy looks worried, but she doesn't look scared. And that's probably the worst part, is she's taking it far too seriously. Like, this is a legit thing that she has encountered before.
That's amazing. Anyways, that's happening. What option are you all gonna take?
Well, Captain's going to get the crew together and tell them the options. We either go into a war zone for a drop-off and get double the money, or we get the same amount of money and go to Mars, which is more safe.
Is it double what the money we were gonna get, which meta was like 300,000, right?
Yes, you would get 600,000 instead.
It's like more than we've made in 2 seasons.
Never war zone before.
Annie kind of crosses her arms over her chest and she's like, well, I mean, realistically, we've gone into war spaces for less.
We've made war spaces for less sometimes.
That too.
That's
Like
true.
a lot less.
Sometimes for free.
Yeah.
I'm so glad this crew finally knows its worth.
War is good for business.
Oh goodness. Yeah, except we're stuck in business.
And again, we are not a target.
True. We're just the delivery people.
However, it would not be above these people to, as you say, shoot the messenger.
Is this the space equivalent of like the mailman trying to deliver the mail with the dogs barking at the fence?
If all the dogs were rabid and shot projectile exploding
gonna
teeth,
say.
yes.
And had
thumbs and
guns.
could
They
use
had
guns.
guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
The dogs had guns.
They've all got little saddles on with guns on the side.
Oh, that's frighteningly adorable.
It's kind of cute but terrifying.
I want them to all
It's
be little
the,
yippy dogs too.
Yes.
It's the best home defense system you could possibly have.
Just don't let it inside your house because they don't understand friend or foe. Bark
They get too
activated.
excited when they see you and fucking kill you.
Oh,
The guns are activated by an elevated heartbeat.
Yeah, that's why they don't give them
No
chihuahuas.
chihuahuas. Yeah.
Not after
Old-
the
Constant
incident.
gunfire.
Yeah, they learned that lesson.
No, they put an Uzi on a fucking chihuahua.
Elevator heartbeat. Imagine how terrifying hummingbird drones would be.
Good
Oh my god.
God, I think the gun would throw them off kilter.
A little bit.
Like a single shot, and
Little
they
bit.
just.
But it keeps firing as they're
Yeah.
like erratically shot everywhere.
Oh, that's just
The momentum of those shots just like turn it in a circle.
Ah, yes, the classic Death Angel stratagem.
Wow. Anywho,
Mm-hmm.
What were we talking?
do you want to go to the moon into a war zone between Vizco and SME they're currently
Right.
fighting, or do you want to go to Mars?
My
from-
vote is Warzone.
I very much
Personally.
appreciate that we went from delivery to hummingbird drones. But anyway, yeah, no,
tracks for
Annie
this
is of the
crew.
mind. Honestly, you're not wrong. Annie maintains that they've done more for less, so she's cool with it.
All right,
Um,
Warzone it is.
the input from the our lovely NPCs. Daisy's really nervous about going into a war zone, but doesn't object to it necessarily. She sort of has like her hand over her like stomach where she got shot a lot during the conversation. Seth is quietly determined, as you know, any Brock Flankman would be.
As any cardboard cutout would be, yeah.
Yes. Liam's weirdly indifferent, and the doctor's just like, well, it would be more money, and just don't bleed all over everything, please. If you bleed, get shot, whatever. It's really hard to get off the floor. And yeah, that's the input. So going into the war zone, awesome.
Billy is gonna go and make sure that the cargo is all strapped down and also ready to go, so we can just get it off real fast.
It is all secured. The workers on Pluto did a really good job of making sure it was all in place and secured and tied down, so you don't really have to worry about it falling or anything like that. Who wants to fly the ship through all of this?
Nice, Jay.
Well, what do we have a cap for? Not to be the captain.
Right? Like, I mean, I'll just fly it. It's not a big deal.
Okay. As I say, you do have Liam as a backup, but I figured somebody might want to actually a PC might want to pilot it right now. All right. Any plans or strategies to get on to Luna? Do you want to like scout the place out first, or just come in hot and hope that you get past everything, or like what's the
Scout.
strategy?
Let's definitely scout. It's dangerous enough
Yeah.
flying by the seat of our pants. Like we don't need that energy today.
Does anybody have family on Luna?
I think at the word family, like Sparky almost stops himself from scoffing. It's like, no, no.
Daisy just looks at everybody and goes, "We're all here, and my dad's on whatever planet we were on, not Luna." She's like, "So, no." And an awkward silence hangs in the air.
Billy, do you have family on Luna?
I was the last in my family. Like, my parents died years ago, and pretty sure my siblings are still working on other asteroids.
So we're all fine.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
it's fine.
Yep.
It's
Only thing would be to give like a reason that we're going to Luna as opposed to being here as part of a war effort or anything.
Oh. Yeah, I thought it was really weird that you asked about our family. That makes way more sense.
We could simply lie.
Or we just tell the truth. I mean, we are just delivering cargo.
That is true.
Just,
I
make
Don't
sure
know if
it's
they
not
would have
to
an issue
Visco.
with that. Do we know like where to drop this off to?
yeah. They gave you new coordinates to drop it off. It was supposed to be to the SME headquarters on Luna, but it doesn't exist anymore.
Fair.
So they gave you backup coordinates on Luna. But I mean, it's gonna be kind of obvious once you get into atmosphere that like where you're going. So you won't be able to hold up that lie forever. Assuming they buy it right off the bat.
Who owns the moon?
SME owns a huge part of it.
Okay.
Other corporations do have offices there, though. It was one of the first colonized celestial bodies in the solar system, so a lot of the stuff, like the buildings and everything, and neighborhoods and all that, are really old, relatively speaking. Like 500 years or so old. So there's a little bit of everything on the moon, but SME has a large stake of it.
Like, when we get closer, do we notice any ships in orbit? Is it, is there conflict going on in orbit? Is it mostly on the planet?
Yeah, so when you come out of FTL, how close to Luna do you want to come out?
Not like right up in its grill or anything, but like comfortably close.
Okay. So not like you're coming out of FTL and immediately going into like a high orbit or anything like that.
No.
Okay. Then yeah, you see a bunch of those ships that were at Ceres here. There are a couple of the larger cruisers that are in pieces, or like one of them's actually split in half, just sort of floating in space with sparks coming off of it and things like that. There are battles that are currently happening in orbit. A couple of ships that are a little bit closer to you are having like an old pirate era style battle where they're flanking each other side by side and just opening fire with their cannons at each other, and it's really just a race to see who's going to blow up first. But yeah, there's a lot of SME and a lot of Visco ships floating around. There doesn't seem to be a lot of coordinated fighting right now. It's like smaller little skirmishes all over the place. You're
Just
too
little
far out
pissy
to...
fights.
I mean, they're big fights, but it's not like a front line moving forward or anything like that. It's a little more chaotic.
Okay.
But yeah, you're too far out to really, see like specific ships. You just can see there's a lot of them fighting.
Okay. Then if I'm able to just kind of like fly around.
You can absolutely attempt to navigate this war zone.
Yeah, just to get closer.
You've seen Serenity, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit like the end of that movie where there's fighting happening and you're gonna have to like duck and weave between fights. Nobody's
Okay.
specifically targeting you, but there's a lot of ships.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. Gonna say over the comms, everybody find something to hold on to.
All right. So right off the bat, I need a nimbleness check from everybody, except for Captain. And then I need a pilot check from Captain.
I got so genuinely worried because in Standing Stones, my nimbleness sucks.
Oh, right. Mechanical engineering for piloting.
Oh, okay. Because when you said piloting, I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Oh, that's not right.
I was getting mixed up in my Star Wars game there. Billy's fine.
Can I add Android onto it?
Yes, you can.
30.
30. Fantastic. Sparky. You don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't hurt yourself, but you don't quite make it to the seat either, so you're just sort of like on the floor of the bridge. Let me see how... I'm just going to roll one roll for everybody, for the kids. Oh yeah, they're all fine. And then with a 30, yeah, Captain, you are able to... you're sort of in the way of a battle that's coming towards you between two larger ships, and you're able to kind of maneuver the ship, sort of zigzagging between live rounds that are flying past you from either side. It's actually quite impressive. And you're able to get away from those two cruisers. There's some other fighters that are dogfighting around you. And there probably are some stray rounds from that do hit the ship, but it doesn't get past the armor.
Yay.
As you're getting closer, you're still not quite at a high orbit range yet, but you can see that in high orbit is a Vizco heavy cruiser with a couple other ships on either side of it, and that does seem to be giving a little bit more coordinated effort, and they're making some headway against the SME ships that are coming up to match them. Excuse me. You could interfere in that fight if you wanted to, or you could try to use that as cover, so to speak, since there are a lot of those Vizco ships there. But if they take notice of you and you have to explain what you're doing, that could cause issues. On the other hand, going the other side of them, there's a lot of missiles and bullets that are flying around.
I'm gonna go with the cover route.
Okay. I need a might check from everyone, except for Captain, who I need a mechanical engineering check from.
Nice crit, Sparky.
I needed it.
Y'all,
Like
y'all are really gonna do this to me, aren't you? My might's a 4.
I have a 3.
Can I add Android onto it again?
Yes, you can.
So 24.
Okay. So who's that? Billy, you're fine. Sparky, you're totally fine. The kids and Annie, less so. So, Captain, as you're trying to use the Vizco ships for cover, you veer a little bit too close to them, and kind of get into the middle of a dogfight. There are bullets that hit the ship, and it's starting to take a little bit of damage. Nothing that you need to be too concerned about yet, but it's taking a little bit of damage, and kind of have to do a really sudden maneuver to avoid ramming into some of these ships, and that sends Daisy, Liam, and Seth and Annie flying across the bridge, and you all take 6 damage.
Sorry.
There we go. On the ship, I'd say like 4. That's not much at all. So you are pretty close to that that heavy cruiser, close enough that you can read the name on the side of it. It is the where did it go in my notes?
It's Vacation Grandpa's ship.
I sure hope so.
It is the VCS Valiant.
Is that Vacation Grandpa's ship?
I don't know. It might be. You could try hailing it if you would like.
No.
All right. Then would you like to fly under the ship and get into the atmosphere of Luna? Behind the ship to get into the atmosphere of Luna? Or is there another maneuver that you would like to try? Now that you're closer to the actual orbit of the planet or the moon, there's a lot of dogfights happening around it.
I'm gonna go with under.
Okay. I need mechanical engineering from Captain, might from everyone who didn't fall, and nimbleness from everyone who did. Oh no.
Sorry, my dad just texted me happy birthday. I missed what you said. What did you say?
24 again.
Need nimbleness from Annie.
Okay.
Hey, the kids are all right. With a 45. And a 22. Annie does end up sort of sliding across the bridge again, but you don't hurt yourself in the process. You're just still on the ground.
She definitely makes some comment about horrible driving.
The speak of Annie sliding across the floor in her fucking like the shiny clothes that she.
Oh, that's great. Also, Sparky, you were not able to hold on very well.
Oh, should I read this again, by the way?
Might for Billy.
Okay.
So you skid across the bridge as well into a pile with Annie, but you only take 1 damage because Annie breaks your fall.
You're welcome.
But
And yeah, Billy, you're fine. You're holding on just fine.
the entire time.
Sparky is literally just muttering to themselves, think of the money, think of the money, think of the money.
And then, yeah, as you probably do some sort of like corkscrew maneuver or something like that, or however you would like to describe it, but it's a very fancy maneuver underneath this cruiser, avoiding a couple of missiles that were being launched. But yeah, it wasn't the smoothest ride, hence everybody flailing around in the bridge. But yeah, you managed to get into the atmosphere of the moon, and at that point you are being hailed by somebody on the VCS Valiant.
I respond to the hail.
It's a Lieutenant Jones who responds with, yes, unidentified ship, you've entered a war zone. Identify yourself and your business here and which side you're on.
We are not on any side. We are simply delivery.
What's your cargo and destination? And as you're talking, you can see like a couple of Vizco fighters have lined up on your tail.
Our cargo is scrap metal.
And your destination?
recently changed. And she would just let name off the longitude, latitude, I guess.
Is the longitude and latitude your actual destination or something that you just make up?
Something that she just makes up.
Okay. Could I get a speech roll from Captain?
Yes, you may.
Let's hope her unusual talent at speech works.
Oh no!
Oh no!
You do have a crit.
I do have a crit. I'm gonna use the crit.
Okay. Instead of that being a critical failure, it is now a critical success. And Lieutenant Jones comes back on and says, you're dumping scrap metal into the sewer. Odd.
We just do what we're paid to do.
Hey, no, I hear you. Hold on one second. And you can hear shouting and people running around barking orders and stuff on the ship before the mic cuts out. And then he comes back on. It's like, sorry, I had to check with my commanding officer. Yeah, that's fine. You can go do the sewer delivery. Good luck with that. And the two fighters break off and go back to the carrier. And you are able to land on Luna.
Great.
The coordinates.
Great. Are they there waiting for us, or are Billy and I yeeting stuff off the ship again?
They're waiting for you. The landscape that you land upon, there's what looks like a series of sort of bunker-like warehouses. They're not quite as heavy duty as like a military bunker, but they're way more reinforced than your average warehouse. And there are a bunch of soldiers with guns that have formed up a defensive line along the perimeter of the building. And there are some people frantically waving you in as you go to land. And very hurriedly try to start unloading the cargo. Do you say anything to them, or want to look around at all, or are you just sort of waiting for them to get the cargo off?
Guys, sorry to interrupt for just a moment.
Interrupt.
All of the power just went out in my block. I can't see a single light anywhere.
Oh no!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! I don't have a plug to plug my phone in, and I have 6% battery, so I'm hoping that things will boot back up.
Okay.
However, I'm on my last legs here, so I don't know if that's going to happen in time. So just wanted to give you a heads up. If I pop out, I'll try my best to get back as quickly as I can, but no promises.
No worries.
Okay.
It's very scary. The lights didn't go out all at once. It's like, you know, in movies when it makes that sound, like the electricity sound where it goes, no.
Uh-huh.
Oh
like
no.
That. Yeah,
Oh,
it was very
I hate
scary.
that.
Oh, that's
and
that's
I
frightening.
think I can hear thunder outside, so I'm scared. Anyway, sorry.
no.
Continue. Let's keep going with this absolute mess that we're in. Sorry.
You're fine, no worries. And yes, happy birthday.
Thanks.
Sorry, you were also saying something, Alex?
Oh, I was gonna suggest that we all sing happy birthday to Vanessa, but now I'm scared to because, like, I don't want to curse Vanessa more on her birthday.
That's fair. Whew.
I have no desire to say anything to anyone. I don't know if anyone else has.
Let's just yeet this stuff off the ship and get out of here.
Okay.
Be good at it once.
Yeah.
Do any of you go to help them carry the stuff off the ship at all?
Captain Wood, sure, yeah.
He definitely loads stuff up.
Anyone doing so can make a sight check.
The power came back.
Hey!
Sorry, did you say sight? What are we looking at?
Yeah, sight. Okay. So Sparky doesn't quite notice it yet. Billy and Captain do, and Annie does. All three of you can see what looks like some Vizco fighters, the satellite sort of like fighter jets coming in on the horizon, as well as some ground vehicles approaching the position. That will probably be there before you're able to fully unload the ship.
How fast can we just dump it out of the ship?
Just tilt the nose of the ship up.
Billy's gonna suggest is we open the cargo bay doors and we unlatch everything and we just let it.
I just picture someone picking the ship up like shook, 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 shook. Oh no.
Well,
We really, you know what we should invest in? We should invest in a cargo catapult.
oh my god.
Just literally something that can push the whole contents of the cargo bay out.
It's just
You
giant
have one.
hydraulic
It's
press
called
that
an
just
android.
Yeah, literally just something that can like, boom, boom, like a disc launcher, like a
yeah.
Oh
You can certainly try this plan of just dumping out the ship.
Yeah, our captain's going to, in a more hurriedly fashion, try to get things off the ship and say out loud, people approaching.
yeah, and Sparky will hurry the hell up.
Okay. Are you continuing with just trying to get the stuff off yourself as quickly as possible, or did you want to try this dump the ship out idea?
How close are they?
You'll be about 2/3 of the way unloaded by the time they get to the front line.
I'm really liking this shake the ship out idea.
You do have a point defense system and a railgun now that you can use to defend yourself if you wanted to, but
Well, we're not going to open fire on them without.
Yeah.
Not declare an act of war on a large corporation.
Also, we still have to get out of here.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Raven. Are you sure? You don't want to fight them? Yeah, Sparky's for
try to shake the ship.
Okay.
I can't think of any other way we could do it.
Not shaking the ship, it's just tilting the ship.
Well, I mean, same function, really.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think Sparky will start tethering things that aren't going to be left here.
Billy is going to make sure that everything that needs to be untethered is untethered and cleared in a way that it can just...
Yeah, that it's just in the center-ish.
Tell the people to clear too so we don't gush them.
Yeah, I think like, Sparky will kind of yell whatever they think is going to happen. Like, we're going to just dump it all out. Get clear.
There's a bunch of mutterings of like, dump it all. What are they going to do? Oh yes, there will be plenty of rolls here in a second.
That's great.
God.
So for Sparky, I need a nimbleness to quickly go around and tether the things that need to be tethered. 22? Yeah, you do a pretty good job.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Some of it's not tethered the best, but it's
probably
done
don't
at
need
least.
most of it. I think if anything, Sparky will pay the closest attention to Revi's gift. Is it Zevi or Revi? I always mix that up.
Zevi.
Thank you. Yeah, Zevi's gift, I think, is a special.
Oh, yes. The rocket launcher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then for Billy, I need a discipline check to carefully untie or just cut the tethers on the cargo.
Sorry, just double checking something.
You're good.
Just 28.
Awesome. Yeah, you're able to take care of all of that. And then, yes, Captain, I will need a mechanical engineering check to pilot the ship well enough to pull this off. What was your android skill or training again?
+6.
27. It's kind of like a glass ketchup bottle. It's angled, but it's not quite sliding out.
What's
Yep.
our angle?
Going to grab one of the tethers and basically hold on to it while she goes down there. And she's gonna kick it off, and I'm gonna use might, and I'm also gonna add in her cybernetic implants.
It's literally what
Okay.
I was thinking of
It's-
doing.
It's like a 30-degree angle, probably something
Okay,
like
okay.
+7 is 35 again.
that. Okay. Yeah, you're able to get some of it off. It's going faster. At this rate, you'll probably just be finishing up by the time they hit the lines.
Is there anything? This is because I suck at might, but Sparky's thinking clever. Is there anything big that we still have tethered that we could lose, that we could use to almost like billiards it, to like knock one big thing into a couple other things to knock them off to help? Sparky's got no might.
I can't think of anything that you would have like that.
Cryopod 9.
If you want to lose the cheese cooler, I mean that's one thing that's probably in there. I think you also have like a force, a gun that just shoots out like.
Oh,
stun
that's
thing.
right.
Cannon went with Seattle. It's on
Oh,
his
did it?
character sheet.
Not-
It's
Damn.
the foot
Not
cannon.
the. Oh, okay. I was just, not the corpse cannon, the fun cannon. Yeah. Okay, never mind. You don't have that.
corpse
Damn.
cannon.
Well, group consensus on the cryopod because we do need to get the fuck out of here.
I mean, this is the origin story for Cryopod coming back as a villain. It's perfect.
It creeps me out.
Oi. I don't care what you do to the cheese cooler.
And I think I know Vanessa's thoughts, but I'd love to hear them in full audio. Silence will do.
Sorry,
Silence will
no,
do.
sorry, I'm back. Things are wild here today.
Oh, okay.
Just for clarification, I apologize. My thoughts on what precisely were you looking for?
We're going to use the cryopod to try and shove the rest of the stuff off, losing the cryopod in the
Oh.
process.
Of course we are. Kind of
I just
sad
wanted
to
to
see
hear
the
that.
little motherfucker go, but I'm not
It's
gonna say
it's good.
no.
You know, it couldn't develop into a true villain unless it was off the ship. So, yeah.
You
So,
know what?
yeah.
Maybe we should keep the grub.
So
So,
Not
Yeah.
me over here just being like, do it.
listen, Raven, we're gonna have to talk later. So
Oh no!
it was my master plan all along. No. So yes, what would you like me to roll to try and detach the cryopod and billiards off what's left?
Let's go with like
Tech engineering?
no. Let's do more like a might roll, but it'll just be a much lower DC than it would have been otherwise.
literally anything but might. It does not matter what skill.
How about
I tell you what, education to see if you can figure out how to set up a lever to move it more easily.
Okay, I'm good for that. Because, like, no matter how low the DC is, I have a 3.
24. Good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
It won't be pretty.
It's yeah, you are able to get that loose, and it slides down, and it's almost like at a bowling alley when you see like the one bowling ball come out of the little return and it hits another one and then it rolls and hits the other one.
Yeah.
And that's enough to sort of loosen it up, and like a whole entire row of the cargo bay just starts sliding out of the back.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a little voice from the cryopod that's just, "Why are you leaving me?" As it falls off the ship.
Sparky will shout "Au revoir!" And hurriedly try to scamper back up through the ship.
All right. Could I get one?
And also, yell at Billy like, "Let's go!"
this?
Say again?
I want to tell Daisy that we're doing this. Yeah, no, Billy gets back up and gets the cargo doors closed once they need to be and stuff.
Okay. I need one more mechanical engineering roll from Captain. There is still some cargo on there, but if you're able to angle the ship a little more, you can get it off. Yeah, that's good enough.
Yay.
The rest of the cargo falls out, some of it falling onto the cheese cooler. There's a very sad glass cracking and metal bending sound as that happens. Weirdly, the display that normally has like letters and numbers and things, it's just like a red sort of circle in the middle of it now for some reason. Don't know why. But anyways, you get all the cargo off, you're able to shut the doors, and I presume you want to take off, right?
No, I thought we'd stick around for tea, Raven.
Okay, cool. So the Visco guys are probably going to want to... Oh, right. Sarcasm. Yeah, you're able to take off before the ground vehicles and troops get there. But you do pick up a couple of those fighters on your way out. They're just not, like, bombarding you sitting still now. They're chasing you, essentially. And as you are exiting the atmosphere with them on your tail, you can see one of those Visco light cruisers sort of closing in over you. Not like literally cutting off your way out, because they can't take up the entire sky, but they are going to be in your way. I think that's a good spot to wrap up the session. So next week we'll find out how you fare with all that, and eventually we'll find out what was the fate of cryopod number 9. And nobody tell Daisy that the cheese cooler's gone.
It's better to ask forgiveness than permission. No, not better. It's easier to ask.
Is
There
it
you
though?
go. Hey, Dr. Ram. In this case, it probably is easier, yeah. We're going to go on a raid here shortly. But before we do, I want to let everybody say what their favorite part was, where we can find them next, and anything they'd like to share or plug. We'll go reverse order, so we'll start with Goody.
What's your favorite moment? I'd say the random family outing to the petting zoo. Just why not?
That was great.
And the fact that basically the youths if they're being angsty about it or just like forced to go have a good time. But yeah, I will be here next week for the same game. And that's about it.
All right, fantastic. Alex, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Oh, geez. I'm not sure what was. Honestly, I think my favorite part was me being able to ditch the stupidest joke I ever made on this show. Finally. Because I'm finally who's not attached to it.
You're free.
I am free of that goddamn cheese cooler. Why Seattle? Why does Seattle have to love it like a son?
Oh, I'm sure it's prodigal. It'll be fine.
But yeah, there was a lot of like little good scenes and stuff, and kind of like the fact that the crew realizing, wait, Seattle did all that. Oh, Seattle did all. Oh shit. Oh shit. Wait, who knows? Meanwhile, Seth's like, you realize Seattle's been like trading me this entire fucking time. It's like, if in doubt, what was Seattle doing? Trading Seth. Because he knew that one day, y'all would need an engineer.
It's true.
You can find me here next week or around on my Twitter at CanChaosArt, where I show artwork and post about commissions and stuff. Yeah.
All right. Next, V. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Well, it would be completely wrong of me not to mention that cryopod scene. Sayonara, you little motherfucker. I've been waiting to ditch that thing for so long at this point. It causes me nothing but stress. I'm what?
I'm so sorry I had Seattle make that.
Nothing but a curse, I tell you that. No, I'm interested to see if we will have our returned villain cryopod. Perhaps that's a big bad evil guy for next season. Who knows?
Or
I love that. And by love I mean I hate that. Thank you.
Actually, I have an even worse idea.
Oh no.
So the Animus Violentis crew picks up Cryopod 9.
Oh no. Well,
I think I might like that idea even better.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I guess
Get their
we'll
problem.
have to wait and see. Yeah, fuck around and find out. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that turns out. I would also like to give honorable mention to Captain's absolutely abominable driving. Just absolutely horrid. Annie is not going to go anywhere from now on without a seatbelt on. She's going to make
She
sure.
said, "Hold on."
Yeah, she sure did. That was not enough warning. From now on, she's gonna make sure that all the kids are strapped into their booster seats, and that she is firmly planted with a seatbelt on before anybody moves. But yeah, as for me, I will be here at some point next week. I'm not gonna say Wednesday, because every time I say Wednesday, it ends up not being Wednesday. So
Wednesday's just cursed.
yeah, I think so. When is the last week of the season, Raven?
That's a fantastic question. Because we're going to be moving during what was supposed to be the last week of the season. More than likely, there's not a specific date set yet, so I'm not entirely sure. It'll either be the 18th or it might be September.
All right. Well, either way, we will be doing the season finale of Exodus at some point before this season ends. We're going to be taking a little bit of break with it as well, just to kind of refresh, reset, and then come back to it for the last leg of the journey. Give it a little bit of time to sit for a minute before we come back to that. So at some point there will be a last Wednesday game, but next week I'll be here on Thursday for Star Wars, and then again on
Heck
Saturday. Yeah, we love the Star
Star-
Wars game.
Star Wars is going to be really exciting for these next, these last couple episodes for the season. I'm
I can't wait.
really stoked for it.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Anything to share or plug?
You guys can check out my art Twitter. I have an art Twitter at Peppero Draws. That's Peppero like the candy. Like I said before, it's mostly original character stuff, but every now and then there's some anime. I just participated in Art Fight for the month of July, so there's a couple of different character pieces up for that. But yeah, that's it for me.
Awesome. Next we got Jay. Favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
It's got to be the cooler. Runner-up is definitely that whole rigmarole to get down to the planet was fantastic. But yeah, not only getting to ditch it, but ditching it in a way that actually benefits us rather than just like leaving it in the middle of space. It was really cool. So yeah, it was a good session because it didn't, like, we just got stuff done. Like, it's rare that we just get stuff done on a session and nothing goes wrong. I know I've said that before, but it's 4 seasons in and it's still a rarity. So yeah, where you can find me next will be on Tuesday. Are we still doing Tuesday next week?
Yeah, that should be fine.
For Standing Stones at 6 Mountain Time, where I play a goblin who is just god awful at most things and kind of okay at a few of them, and they're just kind of hanging around to see whether or not they have to go back to school. So other than that, you can find me on Twitter and itch.io at AlienJs, and who knows, maybe the Cryopod will start tweeting again. It's anyone's guess.
If I was a betting person, I would bet on yes. That just leaves me, my favorite part. I really enjoyed all the stuff at the warehouse, actually. Sparky and Billy and Seth interacting was fun. Especially the fact that, like, Seth got, like, all these hot dogs for everybody and then just ended up having to eat them on his own. Excuse me, I thought that was really funny.
Terran food are just like, the fuck is that?
That's great. I loved it. And I don't know why I really enjoyed the red barrel thing, just because it's so random. It just popped in my head. I'm like, brain, why? But okay.
I really thought someone was gonna blow it up. I really did.
Nope, it's just a red barrel. My brain's just weird. So I enjoyed all of that, and then of course, the quote unquote end of the cheese cooler, which is really just code for the beginning of their origin story, really. That whole thing was really good too, and I'm excited to see how you get out of the situation that you're in now. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Where you can find me next, also Tuesday for Standing Stones at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, right back here. And then other stuff to share or plug. There are sponsors, which is Fundamental RPG. That's the system that this game runs on. It's a D20 system, and it's not tied to any genre. So if you wanted to play a game, say, that isn't sci-fi, you can do that with this system. Standing Stones on Tuesday is high fantasy, and it's also on this system. So it's pretty cool and versatile. It looks like... What's that?
and do magical science, which is fun.
Yeah, you can do that too. It's true. But it looks like this, and you can pick up your copy on Amazon if you want the physical book, or if you prefer a PDF or electronic version, you can do that at coffee.com/raven, like it's spelled at the bottom of the screen. Also at coffee.com/raven, you can find Intrepid, which is adventuring gear for real life. And then also another sponsor is Die Hard Dice. They sell really amazing polymer and metal dice sets and accessories. Like they have really nice dice bags. One of their satin-lined ones is linked in the chat if you want to check that out. And then if you use the code Blackfeather, all one word with a capital B, you can get 10% off your entire order. And then if you want to catch up on this show or others that we have on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch. Wow, my brain just completely froze. Watch.thefantasy.network. And then finally, other things to share or plug is the Animus lore and roleplay server. If you enjoyed this and you would like to learn more about the galaxy and the setting and the different corporations and all that stuff, I am working on filling out all of that information on the Animus Discord server. And that's sort of half of it, and then the other half of the server is roleplay. So you can actually create a character and roleplay with other people in these locations. Currently there is a server event that's happening, which is all of the stuff with SME and Physco that's happening in the game. Hey, thanks so much for the raid. Welcome in Magic Fish Radio. With a party of 8, we were actually just about to go raid someone else, so join us for this raid. It'll be fun. But yeah, if you want to join that server, the link's there in chat. It's a lot of fun stuff, and very similar events are happening in the roleplay event. It's not exactly the same as the game here, but some similar things are happening. So it's a good time to jump in. That is all for me. Our raid cry is going to be Cheese Cooler, why are you leaving me? And we're going to go raid Polished Cryptid, who's just fantastic. If you're not currently following her, I definitely recommend doing so. And then I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye, everybody. And also thanks again to Magic Fish Radio for that raid. Yeah, we'll see you next time.